So there's a whole set of anxieties that people could be stirred up by the idea of finally being able to get out of quarantine, finally being able to get back to so-called normal, that are actually normal in themselves to be feeling the anxiety. There was a recent study done by the American Psychological Association asking people how they felt about getting back to in-person interactions. And they found that 50% of people, whether they've been vaccinated or not, said that they were uneasy about resuming in-person interactions with people. So it's very common, and it's not exclusive to people who, based on whether or not they've been vaccinated. People have just gotten used to their routines and the way that they've been able to have more control over their time. So for instance, many people really, once they got into the groove of working from home, they really enjoyed it. So going back to the office or to their job outside the home, I think is creating anxiety for many people too.
Many people have been very used to being careful, protecting themselves for many months now. And it's hard to let go of that after vaccination because there's no clear indication for you, despite the fact that you're vaccinated and have your little card, that you're safe. It's not like there's a clear indication that suddenly things are different for you because you've got the vaccine.
Everybody had a unique set of traumas and challenges to deal with, and certainly some more severe than others. For instance, if you had COVID, you were hospitalized, you had a loved one die, that is going to be something that, you're going to want to have to deal with and get back to normal more slowly and seek professional help if you need to deal with the grief of that. Also, people who were caregivers and needed to make medical decisions during the restrictions of COVID, that was tremendously stressful. So all these things, it's not going to be like, oh, well, that's over, I'll just resume my life. It takes time to process these things, and people need to be patient with themselves and take things a step at a time. Anxiety now is normal. And to label it as anxiety, everybody's feeling it. So it's okay to name it and say, I'm feeling anxious about meeting you. I'm feeling anxious about doing this thing. And that kind of opens up the conversation. So you can be a little bit more, everybody can be a little bit more transparent about what they're going through so that you know that you're not the only one. It's really important too that you face your fears, because the research in psychology on fears and phobias show that when we try to shrink away and stay away and avoid what we're afraid of, the fear gets stronger. So what you need to do oftentimes is just take one step toward whatever you're fearing rather than stepping back.
I think that over time, the effect of this will fade. 9/11 was a big deal in this country. We were worried about terrorist attacks for a long time, but you don't hear too much about terrorist attacks these days compared to what was happening. People are very worried, but that's faded from our consciousness to a great extent. And I think the same thing will happen with the pandemic, over time.
It will fade away for most people, and that to just be patient, because this is an experience that we've never had before. It's a totally unique experience. I think a lot of growth can come from it, and a lot of realizations about how to restructure our social and work lives are going to be created.
Many individuals may emerge from this experience with a better handle on how they want to live their lives and live their lives better, live their lives well. And that might involve how well they take care of themselves, take care of their families. There are many positive changes that can happen as a result of this.